guys, welcome back to my channel. I just recorded a video, but my phone overheated, so I had to wait for it to cool down. Okay, let's start over. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I just recorded a video, but my phone overheated, so the footage got destroyed, and I had to wait for it to cool down. I also uploaded some vlogs onto my YouTube, just because I need to make space on my phone and I need to put them somewhere, and I know that on my laptop I can re-download YouTube videos so I can edit them later. Well, I'm not gonna edit them, I'm gonna send them to somebody who knows how to edit vlogs when I get the chance to. So there's gonna be a lot of footage of that. But you know, today I wanted to put my damn mic in first. Okay. You guys. Alright. Okay, so you should be able to hear me fine now. I had to move my ring light down instead of have it up because that usually is a culprit when my phone overheats. So I'm gonna tell the story all over again. Yeah, I need to take a deep breath. Okay, so my friend posted something on Facebook along the lines of, ladies, tell a time when a man has tried to manipulate you or has tried to like make you feel bad and manipulate you and disregard your boundaries and such. That was like so petty and immature or whatever. And most people posted things along the lines of relationships, and this conversation reminded me of a photo shoot I had a few years ago. So at the time I was about 19, maybe 20, because it was after I moved back to Chicago after spending about 2 years living in Maryland. And when I lived in Maryland, like the last year and a half of being there, I worked as a model full time. I was doing freelance modeling, I was always traveling photo shoots, and that was like my full-time job. And then I moved back to Chicago, and I knew that it wouldn't be as good as it was in Maryland, but I still tried to do something because it was really hard to find a job, because it was after the even though they said that the recession was over, like everybody was still feeling the effects of the recession in like 2012, 2013. It didn't really start to let up until maybe 2015. Things started to open up a little bit. But yeah, so that's like the time period that this happened. Someone posted a casting call, because I was in the Model Mayhem section looking at casting calls, and this was, back then Model Mayhem was a lot more reputable than it is now. Now they just let anybody in, but I went there a lot to get modeling jobs, and I didn't really have too big of a problem. So yeah, so I went to this casting call that I found in the site, and it was like for a test shoot for a reoccurring role. I contacted the person and expressed interest in it, and then they contacted me and we started talking. I asked them a bunch of questions to try and vet them, make sure I felt safe. I contacted other models in the area to see who worked with him and like did they have a good experience, and everybody said that they had a good experience with him. And then we got to talking, we discussed things about the shoot, and we agreed on everything, so I agreed to shoot with him. He picked me up at the place I was living at the time, and we went over to his house and we started to shoot. The first red flag is when we got there, like I didn't put on my makeup prior to the shoot because I wanted him to know what I look like without makeup. So the first red flag was he asked me to, like, he was mad at me for the way I did my makeup once I started doing my makeup. And he was like, I just want a girl with clear lip gloss. So he like would like, here's a tissue, go in the bathroom, wipe all that off, and just have eyeliner and lip gloss. That's how I like my girls. I'm like, I'm not your girl. So it was like the first red flag. Second red flag was he got mad that I had like a bunch of alternative clothing and a bunch of alternative jewelry, and on my profile it's very obvious that I'm an alternative person. It's very obvious that I'm an alternative model. It's all over, you know, my description. This is why I have to make it so painfully obvious that I literally have to put this in my name that I'm an alternative model, because I have experiences like this. Clearly he didn't read it. And he was just like, oh my gosh, what is all this stuff? I just want like a girl in like gold hoop earrings. Like, go to the store and get some clear lip gloss and earrings. I was like, okay. I went to the store and I got some clear lip gloss. It was like a beauty supply store like around the corner that I walked to and came back. And he was mad at me because I didn't get the gold hoop earrings. Because those jeans, those things usually irritate my skin. I don't like them. So, yeah, I wasn't going to do that. So he got mad at me because I didn't get these gold hoop earrings. That I told him that I don't. One, I don't really like, and two, they irritate my skin, so I'm just not gonna bother with them. And he was like mad at that, so it's probably like the third red flag. And then I started pulling out my wardrobe and showing him things I had in jewelry, and he was like, oh my gosh, what is this, and blah blah blah, and just basically giving me shit. And we talked about things over the phone and discussed things. I told him things I had, and he seemed fine with it, so I didn't really get that. And then we started shooting, and like we started shooting like some bikini stuff, some lingerie stuff, and then he was like, oh, you're a little ashy, let me put some lotion on you. No, he tried to put baby oil on me, and I was like, no. So I brought lotion, and I started putting lotion on, and then he kept trying to like rub baby oil on me. He's like, it's okay, I'm like your doctor, it's totally fine. And he was like trying to rub oil on my butt, and I'm like, no, you're not rubbing oil on me, especially on my butt. Like, no, you're not touching me. I barely even know you. Like, no. So, this is probably like the 5th red flag at this point. And then we started shooting, and things were like going smoothly or whatever. And at some point, he just like, yeah, so pull your panties down and spread your legs wide open, and I'm just gonna get really close and zoom in. And I was like, no. Saying, well, this is what I do with all my girls and blah blah blah. No. So he kept going on these little tangents, having a little fit or whatever. He was like, well, you might as well just put back on your clothes, and then this shoot is over. And I was like, okay. Like, you said that I could mean something. So I went to go get dressed, and he was like, well, you don't have to go to the bathroom to get dressed. Like, you can just change right here. I'm like, no. So, you know, he goes on this little tangent, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Like, well, I'm not hiring you for any gigs, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, don't care. I don't care to work with you. Like, you literally cannot pay me to work with you, even though I was broke as fuck. So, making sure I'm still recording. So, like, after that happened, he like pulls out his laptop and logs onto his Facebook page. He's like, see, look, I gotta show you something. Come here, look at this. And he scrolls down on like all his like photography pictures and shows me like comments of girls on his page. I don't think these are people he knows in real life. I think he just added a bunch of models, added a bunch of women, and you know, like have them gas up his portfolio. I was like, oh my gosh, like I want to work with you, blah blah blah. Like just basically gassing them up. And he's like, see, look at all these models I could be working with. You should be fortunate that I was like working with you, because look at all these options. Look at it. I could be doing all these type of shoots, all these type of women that are dying to be in my portfolio, that love my work, and you're just over here not acting right and blah blah blah. And I'm like, don't care. Also, like the pictures in his model and portfolio were like good quality, but the pictures on his Facebook page just looked like he went into paint.net and got like a brown paint and just like scribbled all over people. Like nobody had any pores, they didn't have any bags, they didn't have any like they didn't have any natural contours to your face. It just looked flat and brown. And then like he did these baby oil shots, and like the reflection of the baby oil in contrast with certain people's skin tone. Not saying if you're dark skinned and you have baby oil that it's not gonna look right on you, it's actually gonna pop more. But like the way that he took it and the way that he edited the pictures and how his lighting and stuff was, it looked awful. And people were just gassing it up. I'm just like, oh, this looks a hot mess. I'm glad I didn't work with him. So I get dressed and pack up all my things, and I ask him to take me home because we're pretty much done with the shoot. And he's like, no, I don't have any. Like, I'm not taking you home. I have better things to do. I don't have time for this. and he just pops out on the couch and he crosses his arms. I'm just like, so this guy picked me up and drove me all the way out to his house, and then he refused to take me home. So I was kind of like stranded out there. I did not have much money. I was unemployed. I don't even think I had a cell phone at the time. Luckily, I was familiar with that area, and I knew how to get downtown, and I knew how to get home from downtown because I used to live in the area that he was in. I lived in a bunch of different areas all over the city, so a lot of times, like, drive through the city, I can say, oh, I used to live around here, and it would be like different places all across town. So I knew where I was at, and I knew how to get home, and I had a few dollars to my name. Not a lot. I had like a few dollars that was enough for me to take a bus downtown and then take another bus home and be done with it. And yeah, I did have a cell phone at the time because that's how he was talking to me. But it wasn't like a smartphone. It was just like a basic cell phone, basically. Like it wasn't anything in particular. Like it didn't have it didn't have internet. It didn't have like a smartphone features, didn't have any apps or the ability to take pictures or anything. Like I called, I could text people on there, and like it wasn't touchscreen or anything like the phones we have now, because this was years ago. And yeah, like I unfriended him and stuff, and then I saw like other models in the area that I'm kind of mutual friends with, and they're like, hey, I'm gonna shoot with this guy, and I'd be like, no, don't shoot with this guy. He's a creep. He's a weirdo. Yeah, just don't. So I say this to say that, like, don't be afraid to leave shoots. Don't be afraid to stand up for your boundaries. Don't be afraid to say no. Even if you're absolutely broke AF and modeling is your only job, don't let people take advantage of you, basically. I also want to say that, like, because modeling was my only source of income at a point in my life, I put up with a lot of crappy situations because my mindset was just like, well, this is just 2 hours shoot. I'll put up this for 2 hours, get my money and go. Because I just need money to pay my rent. I just need money to do groceries. I need money to pay my phone bill. I need money to go to job interviews or whatever. And that would just be like how shoots were for me. Like it just became like a job that I hated and resented. It wasn't even like a fun thing to do anymore at a point. And as I've gotten older and I've had other jobs and I've had other skills and, just educated myself on a lot of different things, I no longer have to rely on modeling. So I don't have to put up with people like this. I never had to, but I felt like I did because, like, that was like, at a time in my life, it was kind of like, you got going for me career-wise, but, I knew that it was important for me to build other skills and branch out and everything. So, yeah. It's weird how certain things will trigger certain memories for me because a lot of things I just block out and completely forget. And, yeah. I don't know what I'm going to title this video, but, yeah, I just want to say, like, don't let people manipulate you into doing things that you don't want to do. Don't let people try to take advantage of you. Don't let people treat you just any old kind of way. If you have had any similar experiences, please comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you've been following my channel for a while, you've been watching my videos for a while, you're not subscribed, I don't know what you're doing, just subscribe already. Like, you're here, okay? You're here. I post a lot of content related to art. I post painting videos, drawing videos, planning videos. I talk about my experience as an alternative model, as a dental assistant, living as a goth person. I talk about different things. I post story times. I post like different things. My life intersects in a lot of different ways, and I try and share that content with you all. So if that's something that you enjoy, please subscribe. I'm so close to getting 600 subscribers. So yeah, and I really want to get my channel to the point where it is monetized because I've had it for years, and I've just now started to like take it more seriously and post more consistently, and yeah, I appreciate you all for your support. Thank you guys so much. Bye.